Ride with the stars in the on-bike experience. Join us in the hot seat for a unique view of the speed, skill and spills of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. We start down under on a lap of the Eastern Creek Raceway with Scotsman Neil Mackenzie.
Okay, this is coming on to the main straight Eastern Creek, fastest part of the racetrack. It's a downhill straight and it levels out past the pits. This is the fastest part of the racetrack, maybe 280 kilometres, maybe a little bit faster. Back 2 gears to 4th gear for the first corner, very fast corner, fastest corner on the track. Middle of the corner, I get back in the throttle, accelerate hard into this tight left-hander, back all the way to first gear and clip the first apex, run out a little bit wide, still in first gear, back to the second apex, pick the bike up straight, short shift second, third gear into the next right-hander, then it's uphill, over the crest of a hill, peaking out in third gear. As soon as I start to go down the hill, back to second gear, cross to the right-hand apex, follow the apex all the way around, pick the bike up in second, accelerate hard, into a left-hander, second gear again, back on the throttle, accelerate hard, second, into third gear, flick it right, then back into second gear, back into first for the next left, tight here, careful on the throttle not to high side, then first, second, third, under the bridge, to the crest of the hill, then back into the left apex, still in third gear, then a quick burst down, still in third gear, back to first gear for the next right-hander, very tight hairpin this one, and careful again on in first gear, accelerate hard, first, second, third, fourth gear, and then head for the apex here, back to third, then back to second, then flick it left for the last corner onto the straight again, and then hit the apex here at the last corner, begin to accelerate second, then short shift to third, then accelerate hard onto the main straight, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, downhill, past the pits again.
.125cc racing often provides the closest of all the Grand Prix classes. Fausto Gresini and Ralph Waldman show us just why. Now down the main straightaway at Eastern Creek, did they actually touch? Italian Pier Francesco Chili was not having such luck in the 250cc race. So we get a worm's eye view of the Eastern Creek circuit. Chili bails out and the Aprilia comes to rest in the dirt. We now go to Malaysia and the Shah Alam circuit on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur. Take a lap of the track with Spaniard Juan Garriga riding the Ducatus Yamaha. This is the start and finish straight, and now into the left-hander. Accelerating away, down through the gearbox for the right-hander. Hands off the brakes, onto the throttle. Left and right again. A left and now onto the fastest part of the circuit. Up the hill and onto the back straight. On the brakes. For the tight left-hander. This is Garriga, number 6. Shah Alam, the perfect example of just how tough and demanding Grand Prix circuits are on the rider's mind and body. Rain, the real enemy of Grand Prix riders. we ride with Loris Capirossi in the 250cc race in Malaysia. He's out of the sand trap and back on the track, and the start and finish straight. And this is exactly what happened to the 125cc world champion trying his luck in the 250cc class. In front of him, Andy Preining riding the Aprilia. Capirossi trying to close, trying to get past, but to no avail. Suddenly joining in the fun, it's Dutchman Wilco Zeelenberg on the Suzuki. From the mist of Malaysia to the sunshine of Spain, we take a lap of Jerez with Randy Mamola.
Okay, we're going down the front straight here at Jerez, and we're reaching 245, probably about 260 kilometers per hour. We're going to go back to first gear here in this turn one. First gear, you've got to be really careful. Go first, second shift really quick, and you just hold on into second, stay into second for turn number two. As we exit turn number two, it's very, very important to take it very easily on this left-hander here, turn number three, because it's very easy for the bike to step out. Also, now we're in fourth gear. As we exit this corner, to go up to the hill, which is the new part of the circuit, which is actually a lot nicer than the old circuit. As we come out of here, we're exiting in third gear. We start to spin the tire to go onto the back straightaway, which is the new section of the racetrack. You can see the front end come up a little bit right there. We go into fifth gear. Again, we're doing about 160 mile an hour, 162 miles an hour. Back to first gear, which is a very tricky corner. You can see Eddie Lawson there ahead of me. First, second, third gear really quick. Over to the left-hander. You got to make sure that the front end's stable right there. Get on the gas and you can actually spin it. Going into this next left-hander, it's all on the nose. We're just waiting. You're still in third gear. Both of us are waiting to get around a lap rider here. Eddie made it nice, didn't seem to, but double right here, two second gear corners. This one and then the next one. This second one is very, very important to get out of because it has a straightaway. That's actually Alex Cravilla we just passed. This double right is in third gear, and you can spin the tire coming out of both corners, and then we just let the RPM just scream all the way into the last turn where we go back to second gear. Second gear corners probably about 125, 130 kilometers per hour, and then again right back through the gears to the start-finish line.
For the race, we join local hero Alex Crevier on the Kamsa Honda. And what a race it turns out to be. It's fast and furious from the onboard camera, and equally as hectic out on the track from the spectator enclosures. Peter Goddard sneaks through on the inside. Crevier is soon back in front and chasing Eddie Lawson. John Kaczynski is his next victim. Just compare the speed of the Honda and the Yamaha on the main straight at this early part of the season. To the delight of the massive crowd, Crevier closes on Chandler and Schwantz. He's past Chandler and now chasing Schwantz in third place. Schwantz holds him off this time. But the crowd are on Creville's side. Neil Mackenzie has also joined in the fun. We see Mackenzie's passing manoeuvre from the grandstand. Schwantz looks behind. Mackenzie and Crevier could not be closer. Mackenzie up into third. Crevier making his move. On the last lap, he's up into third place. Yellow flags say it all. Crevier uninjured, but his race is over. Mugello in Italy. Eddie Lawson, 4 times world champion, surely the smoothest rider of the last decade, takes us for a ride round the circuit just outside Florence on the all-Italian, all-red Cagiva 500cc machine.
This is about 185 mile an hour straight. We're in 6th gear now, coming up to the 200 braking marker. And we'll go back to 2nd gear and tip it in. It's a little bit banked corner here. So a little bit slippery coming out. We'll keep it in 2nd gear through this S. A little bit chatter bumps going through here. We'll pick up 3rd gear and hard braking for this left-hander. And it's a little bit tricky because it's off camber. And we'll pick up 3rd gear back to 2nd for this downhill off camber. And back, this is all downhill, so it's a little bit slippery going through here. And this is a very, very fast right-hander, 2 fast corners in this track. Coming out of here, the bike likes to get real light and sideways. And we'll go back to second gear again. This S. Coming out of here, there's a big bump, and the bike likes to get real sideways out of there over the bump. And this is a very long right-hander. It's second gear. Try to pick up the throttle as early as possible out of here. And a very fast chicane through here. And we're headed up to the last corner of the racetrack. Just getting passed by Kevin Schwantz there. And we're coming back out onto the front straightaway. We'll go up through the gears.
The 250cc class this season has produced some great battles between the Aprilia of Loris Reggiani and the Rothmans Honda of Luca Cadalora. Just watch the rev counter on the right of Loris Reggiani's Aprilia. That was Max Biaggi snatching the lead, but look what he does when he gets in front. Back with Reggiani, with Killy and Bradl in front of him. This is 250cc Grand Prix racing at its very best. Again, compare the speed of the Hondas and the Aprilias. Still at Mugello, an empty track for Italian Doriano Romboni on the HB Honda. Four Italians contest the lead going into the last lap at the Italian Grand Prix. Let's have a look at that from the outside. Biaggi almost gets taken out by Cadalora. Reggiani up the inside, and Killy also. Now, did Killy fall, or was he pushed by Biaggi? His race is over. Another win for Luca Cadalora. John Kaczynski leads Alexander Barros in the 500cc race. Both have the reputation of being tremendous late breakers. Their claims will now be put to the test. They break from 185 miles an hour. Would you want to be this close at that type of speed? Would you trust the man in front? This time in front of Barros we have Alex Crevier. Spaniard Alex Crevier lives in Barcelona, so who better to take us on a lap of the new Barcelona circuit?
As I come down the straight and cross the start line, I change up to 6th gear, about the middle of the straight. The engine revs are hitting 13,000. Past the bridge, it is hard braking and change down to 2nd for the right-hander, and then accelerate into a fast chicane as the bike slides a little. This next corner is very long, and I run in close to the curbs for maximum speed. On the exit, it is hard acceleration, up to 4th gear, down this short straight, and then hard on the brakes for this slow 2nd gear corner. Right in the middle of this corner, I change up to 3rd and come out on the throttle with a little wheelie. Now the slowest corner of the circuit and down to 1st gear. On the way out, it is up through the gears, 2nd, 3rd and then 4th to attack this fast corner. The left-hander entering this chicane is taken in 2nd gear, and then on the way out is into 3rd before the approach to the Campsa corner, which is blind as you turn in. Down towards this next chicane, I accelerate in 3rd gear. Through the chicane, and I grab 4th on the exit, and now it's hard acceleration, and then on the brakes, and down to 2nd gear for this tight left-hand corner. This corner brings us into the stadium section where there is always a lot of people, and I hold 2nd gear, accelerating all the way around through these curves. Coming down towards the very fast curves which lead onto the straight, I'm changing up into 3rd gear and preparing to turn in for the fast corner leading onto the straight. Then it's accelerating up through 4th, 5th and 6th gear to complete the lap.
Crevier is on the front row of the grid for the 500cc race at the Grand Prix of Europe. But it's not the perfect start. In fact, it's a dreadful start. Half the field are past the Spaniard before they get to the first bend. He's now desperately trying to make up ground, especially on the man in front of him, his bitter rival in Spain, Juan Garriga, riding the Ducatus Yamaha. He's past Garriga, and now after Miguel de Hamel in front of him. Juan Garriga does not take kindly to be overtaken and is on the limit as he fights back. Crevier keeps going, although there's something obviously wrong with his NSR Honda, as Randy Mamola races through on the inside. This is not going to be the fairy tale race for the boy from Barcelona. Still trying hard as he chases Mamola, but then into the pits. Mechanical problems wreck Crevier's chances of home success. We now take a lap of the ultra-fast Hockenheim circuit with Miguel de Hamel.
Okay, I believe we're coming onto the front straight. We get on the gas hard, and it's a little bit slippery. I come out of there myself personally in first gear. I'm the only guy doing that. Go all the way up to fourth, fifth gear, get out good. Downshift 2 gears, 3 gears. Okay, we come down out of here in second gear, hard on the gas. Got to watch that little bump where it makes wheelies, so we're losing time. We go up to second, third, all the way to sixth gear, get a good draft off this guy. It's okay for the lap times. You keep going hard as fast as you can, try to make the track a bit shorter, going towards the inside of it. There's a couple of big bumps out there, so you got to be careful. Got to stay on the outside, braking hard for the first chicane. Then you go all the way down. I go all the way down to first gear and second gear. Now we're still looking at the gearbox, but I go down there to second gear. Okay, you pop it all the way up back to fifth gear here, and sixth gear, right after this little corner here. Okay, then we bang it. This is a third gear corner. We're going in there real fast. Got to keep good speed, good momentum, because coming out of here, you got to be, it's a long straight again. There are only long straights here anyway. You got to come out of each corner real fast. So again, you go all the way up to fifth gear, and if you're brave enough, you brake past the 200 marker. But if you're warming up tires like I am, you just don't brake that far. Okay, slow right in front of us. Try to get a good draft off of him, maybe coming out. He's probably going to look back at us. There he goes. Okay, go right by him. Pop it all the way up to the gears, up to fifth gear again, and brake under the Nintendo bridge when you're going for a hard lap, and bang it all the way down to second gear for this corner. Again, get on the gas hard as you can, use all the track. Here we go. And then from here, downshift all the way first gear corner, left-hander. We got to be careful. Cold tires are a little bit cold on that side. Get on the gas here. Personally, I keep it in first gear, and all the way through here on first gear. I believe Neil's using second gear through here. And again, this is a lap, and you come out here as hard as you can because it's another good straight, and the important thing is to get out the corners real good so you get a good lap.
Well, we now take an opposite view of the action from the rear end of Max Biaggi's Aprilia at the start of the 250cc race. Biaggi leading the way, but the picture from both sides tells the story. He's a lucky young man to stay aboard the Aprilia. The slow motion shows just how close he was to disaster. Reggiani now in front, followed by Killy and Biaggi in the stadium part of the circuit. Coming into the start and finish straight, Helmut Bradl shows us how not to do it. Through the dust, he walks away uninjured. Biaggi is back in front, closely followed by Killy and Reggiani. Killy now leads. Biaggi relegated to third by Reggiani. Stefan Prine shows how not to do it at the chicane. Sandtrap's doing a magnificent job to stop the flying German. Back to this breathtaking duel between Biaggi and Reggiani for second place. Let's have a look at that from the outside. Killy leads, Biaggi in second place, Reggiani third. Into the stadium for the last time, Biaggi almost loses it. The moment of truth for the young Italian, but he hangs on to second place. The 500cc race. We ride with Scotsman Neil Mackenzie at the fastest Grand Prix venue in the world. We take the rear view from his Banco Yamaha teammate Miguel de Hamel. Into the woods, Alex Crevier goes past. Bikes now touching speeds of over 300 kilometers per hour. Eddie Lawson behind de Hamel. Mackenzie goes down at the chicane. So does the onboard camera. Mackenzie carried away ungraciously with a broken ankle. On to the world-famous Assen circuit and a lap with Californian Randy Mamola.
Okay, here we are at Assen, about to cross the start-finish line. Right now I'm at about fourth gear, then I go to fifth gear, probably about 150, 160 miles an hour, going through the first chicane. We get to what I call turn one, but they call turn two. We're back to third gear. You got to be really careful here because the rise of the pavement right there where I was at is very easy to spin the tire. I go up to fourth gear. Some riders go into fifth. Very, very fast corners. You can see everything's happening very, very quickly here, and it's very difficult not to make mistakes. But it's very creditable to just keep yourself on tune as far as concentration because the track is so long. We're back into third gear here. Stay in third gear, and you can see the tach at about 13,000 RPM. We stay in third gear on this right. We're going to hit a hairpin. We're back 2 gears, back to first gear. It's very easy to spin the bike out here, so you want to be very careful. Rolling on, we're flat. We're going to be flat stick all the way now for probably about 20 seconds. We get to fifth gear right here, and you'll hear me click into sixth gear, I think, right about now. And we're going to be braking, which is another really critical corner. Back to second gear, and again, you got to watch the front tire for losing the front. And again, right when you get on the back, you have to get back on the throttle. You have to watch out for the rear spinning there. Back to a second gear corner. It's another corner. Everything's really front orientated here at Assen, and a lot of guys this weekend, lost the front. Another really hard front end corner. Another second gear corner right here, and then we're going to go up 2 gears to fourth gear, probably about 145 miles an hour. And here you just back off, and then you gas it flat out again. And it's a very, very critical corner because your momentum's got to keep going for the last 2 S's. And then a long left here, which I'm in fourth gear. And we get back around to the final chicane, which is very, very easy to overshoot because everything else seems to be very, very quick on the race course. Thanks for taking this lap with me.
Thank you, Randy. On to the 250cc race. At the front, we ride with Wilco Zeelenberg. At the back, with Jürgen van der Gorberg. Some typical 250cc scrapping for vital championship points. Back with Van der Gorberg. Behind him, Helmut Bradl, number 2. No brotherly love in this particular encounter, with Patrick Van der Gorberg leading brother number 33, Jürgen. Jürgen getting close, but not quite close enough. Zielenberg into turn 2 as far as Randy Mamola is concerned. Zielenberg number 4. Jürgen van den Gorberg number 33. We ride with his brother Patrick. The rear view, this particular battle from the front of Zielenberg Suzuki. Three Dutchmen fight it out for honours in front of the 130,000 strong Dutch crowd. Zielenberg passes Van den Gorberg like he's standing still. There's an empty track in front of Zielenberg Suzuki. And that's the reason why Van der Gorberg's Aprilia has cried enough. The magnificent Magny-Cours complex in France. It's the first time it's staged a motorcycle Grand Prix. We take a lap with French-Canadian Miguel de Hamel.
All right, we're on the front straight. We're shifting from first all the way up to fourth gear, downshifting to third. Fast corner, got to get it right to get good time. And then you come down here, brake. You're still in third gear, trying to carry as much corner speed actually to go as fast and get a good exit coming out of here as hard as you can. And then when the rev go up to 12.5, you see them go away. You just shift them all the way up to 6th gear. Going through here for the back straight. Just keep concentrating on tucking as much as you can. Then the Marlboro Bridge, you hit the brakes right after passing Marlboro Bridge. All the way down to 1st gear. Shooting for the apex and the inside. Whoop, missed it a bit. Here we go. We're going back outside. 1st gear, 2nd gear. Then 3rd gear. 4th gear. 5th, brake hard. Downshift 2 gears. Go through the chicane here in 3rd gear. Try to carry us good speed through the corner, through the chicane. Get on the gas hard here. The rear end usually always sliding. Braking, downshifting to 2nd gear. Again, trying to keep a lot of corner speed and getting through this corner here. Acceleration, quick into 3rd to stop back end for spinning. 3rd, 4th. You go up to 4th, 5th. And then you're down on the gas hard here. Braking hard. Downshifting 2 gears. You back to 3rd. Try to carry again some good corner speed. Get on the gas hard as you can, then hit the brakes again, and you're going back down to 2nd. Try to keep the apex, the tight line. Get on the gas. The rear end usually always slides here and spinning the rear wheel. Go up to third. We go up to fourth. Then we brake hard. Go down 2 gears. We're down in second gear here. Going through the chicane. Get on the gas here to make some time of it. Downshift to first. Try to get a best drive possible. And if you did it right, you get a good lap.
So the 500cc French Grand Prix. We face forward with Neil Mackenzie warming his tyres. We face the rear with Miguel de Hamel. The red flag, we ride with Mackenzie. Fast and furious first bend. Mamola and Swans get past the Scotsman. Also Eddie Lawson. Behind the Hamel we have Alex Crevier. Back with Mackenzie. In front of him, Mamola, Lawson, de Hamel and Schwan. Onto the brakes with a tight right-hander. And then back to teammate de Hamel. So Crevier gets past de Hamel, and Mackenzie gets past Mamola, or does he? The Scotsman runs wide, and Mamola seizes his chance. Schwantz now closes on de Hamel, closely followed by Lawson. Once is through, but Lawson is held at bay. Mackenzie now chases Mamola and de Hamel, with Jamie Whittam coming into the fray. Pride is now at stake for the Scotsman. De Hamel with his friend Lawson. The Hamel now relegated by Lawson, who at last gets in front. 2 in 1 go for the battling Mackenzie as he gets past both Andrew Stroud and Randy Mamola in one foul swoop. De Hamel's still chasing Lawson, but he's also being caught by teammate Mackenzie. But the Scotsman has problems avoiding the fallen Alex Crevier. Look at it from Mackenzie's view. Mackenzie's closing on De Hamel. And behind Mackenzie is Mamola. At last a clear track in front of Mackenzie, and it's now Mamola on De Hamel's tail. They're now coming in among the back markers. Mackenzie's first to get through. De Hamel still can't shake off the determined Mamola. Into the start and finish straight with Mackenzie. But what about De Hamel and Mamola? See it again. Mistake by the Californian, a sign by the Californian, and De Hamel's on his way. Let's see it in slow motion. Now, did they touch? On to the 250cc race, and a bad start from Italian Biaggi. Well, not a start at all. This race is run after just 10 yards. So we now follow the fortunes of Frenchman Jean-Philippe Rougier riding the Gilera. He fares little better. Not a good day for onboard cameras in the 250cc French Grand Prix. We had better luck with Scotsman Neil Mackenzie at the British Grand Prix at Donington Park.
Okay, coming past the start finish at Donington Park, changing up through the gears all the way to 6th gear, which is top gear, then braking for the 3rd gear right-hander, back to 3rd gear, which this is Redgate corner, coming back to the apex, then hard on the throttle exiting Redgate, through 4th into 5th gear for Hollywood, through Craner curves, then flicking the bike left, still in 5th gear, and then down to the old hairpin, back to 3rd gear here, then straight across to the apex and back on the throttle in third gear, up to fourth, then through fifth gear, under Starkey's Bridge, and then the bike is flat out round here before braking past this apex and then back to third gear for McLean's corner. Then somebody passed me, then back on the brakes, back on the throttle, third gear, fourth gear up to Coppice Corner, and back to third gear for the first part, the right hand apex, back into fourth for the exit of Coppice, accelerating hard, then into fifth gear, and over the hump before the Dunlop Bridge and into sixth gear, which is the fastest part of the racetrack, past the 200-yard marker, then hard on the brakes, all the way back to second gear, then into the left-right chicane, accelerate out here hard in second gear, up to third, up to fourth, up to fifth gear round the left-hand kink, then braking hard back to second gear for the slowest part of the racetrack, the Melbourne hairpin, past the apex and then hard on the throttle in second gear, accelerating up through third gear, fourth gear, and let the bike over rev a little bit before braking hard for the last corner of the racetrack. Was a left-hand second gear corner, then onto the start-finish, hard on the throttle again, second gear, third gear, all the way up to sixth gear past the start-finish, and that's the lap of Donington Park.
We join Randy Mamola and Neil Mackenzie for the 500cc race. We ride with Randy into the first bend at Redgate. Just going past him, Juan Garriga, number 6 on the Ducatus Yamaha. Now with Mackenzie into the chicane. He's chasing the other camera, ridden by Mamola. He outbrakes him going into the hairpin. We switch now to Mamola, and see Mackenzie is in front. Back with Mackenzie chasing Carl Fogarty on the Harris Yamaha. He outbrakes Fogarty going into the chicane. Mamola at the chicane and then approaching the hairpin. Mamola escapes with a broken screen. Mackenzie chases John Kaczynski through Craner Curve. Back to the slow motion version of Mamola's crash. Back to Mackenzie with an open track in front of him. But the Yamaha has tried enough, and Mackenzie's race in front of his home crowd is over. Pier Francesco Killy is our man in the 250cc race. Number 1, Luca Cadalora on his inside could clinch the World Championship. We also ride with Dutchman Wilco Zeelenberg, but unfortunately not for long. Mechanical problems rule him out in the very early stages. Killy ploughs on at the front. This is his massive problem at the chicane. Somehow he stays aboard. The checkered flag now beckons the young Italian. He crosses the line and cannot wait to start the celebrations. the Aprilia is parked, his pit crew jump over the fence, and the champagne and the celebrations start. We hope you've enjoyed the on-bike experience. We're sure it's brought you a new insight into the speed, skill and spills of Grand Prix racing.